everybody. How are we doing tonight? Yeah. We've got a great show tonight. I don't want to waste any time. Let's get this started. I have to ask you guys if you've seen this story in the news lately. A British college student at Guildford University accidentally swallowed her toothbrush. Now, she could feel it slipping down her throat, but apparently couldn't grab it in time to do anything about it. The student... I'm not even to the joke yet. Come on. The student told doctors that this happened because she doesn't have a gag reflex. No, yeah. Calm down. Calm down, okay? None of you guys have a shot with her, okay? Her nights are booked solid for the next year. Booked solid. Straight A's, though. Who knows how that happened? We have a great show tonight, everybody. From ABC's Dancing with the Stars, Sharna Burgess is here. From the hit web series, the Lizzie Bennet Diaries, Ashley Clements will be joining us. And we'll be hearing music from Passafire. We got a fun show tonight. I have to say, though, this is an interesting story. I found this today. On Halloween, Chris Brown and his crew were seen at Rihanna's party dressed up as Taliban soldiers. Yes, don't worry, though. Taliban leaders quickly released a statement claiming that they had no association with Chris Brown and recommended that Rihanna just move on with her life. Don't want anything to do with that guy. We don't even like Rihanna, but whatever. Election 2012 is upon us, and aside from the presidential race, voters have to deal with an endless list of local proposition votes. Now, unfortunately, not all of the props make it onto the ballot, but fortunately, we tracked down 3 Californians who failed to gather the necessary signatures to get their props on the ballot in tonight's Clocked Out special report.
See, this is what I'm talking about. If this car just pulled forward, a whole other car could fit right here. This is the bane of society.
This is Jared Hill,
I should set this on fire.
the man behind Prop 586.
New penalties for inconsiderate parking.
And what exactly would this have done?
The law implemented a fine for people who parked with a half a car's length between their car and another car, or the end of a street, or a red zone, or whatever.
This is Matthew Stewart.
I can't believe this shit. Prop 9, Citizen-Enforced Canine Noise Reduction.
And what is that?
It's simple. All I want to do is empower citizens to alleviate a disturbance of the peace instigated by canine perpetrators.
This is Meg Dysart,
Ew. So moldy.
author of Prop 347.
Oh my god.
The Keep Our Fridges Clean Act basically makes it illegal to keep leftovers in the fridge for more than 10 days.
Now, why is this so important to you?
I mean, it's just gross, you know?
Jared, how does this photograph make you feel?
Angry. Just look at all this wasted space. It sickens me.
And when you say alleviate, could you explain what that means?
I mean, take care of the problem.
How?
By any means necessary. Look, do you hear that? That damn mutt hasn't stopped barking since we got here, and it's not gonna stop. Ever. This is my life, okay? 24 hours a day.
The state of somebody's fridge is not generally public knowledge. I mean, how are they going to track this?
I mean, look, I can track a pizza from the oven to the box, to the delivery car, to my front door. Okay, so just take it one step further and track it in the fridge. Mind blown.
Why do you think it didn't make the ballot?
It was all that damn picture. We were on track to make it, but then that hit the internet. You know, it's bullshit. There was a smart car there when I parked. Honestly, I think it was a setup.
The people lack the willpower to do what needs to be done to stop this canine menace.
You mean kill dogs?
I prefer the term euthanize.
What about the clause that was buried in this prop that gave the authority to you and only you to slash the tires of the cars that violated the law?
I'm sorry, I don't know exactly what section you're talking
I
about.
believe it was Section 7, Part C.
I would have only used that power for good.
We've got these dogs shitting all over our city, barking nonstop, creating a wall of noise, drowning out our thoughts. Wake up, sheeple. We're their masters, not the other way around.
Okay, so what about other noises? Like, what about that crying baby?
That's Prop 10.
These Californians may not have fulfilled their legislative dreams, but we can hope that their noble efforts will inspire future generations. One thing's for sure, the Founding Fathers would be proud.
Problem solved. You're still on? Fuck.
Good stuff, good stuff.
All right, guys, you can see her each week on ABC's Dancing with the Stars, but tonight she has decided to come out here and hang out with us. Please welcome Sharna Burgess.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. How's it
Thank
going?
you.
How's it
Thank you.
going? Have a seat. Have
Really
a seat. All right. So, Sharna, you
Yes.
came from Australia. Now you're in the U.S. And now you're on Dancing with the Stars, DWTS, to those of us who knows what's up. But tell me, how did this happen?
It's, I started young. I moved from Australia when I was 18, actually. I moved to London to continue training. From a young age, I knew this was it. I'm a dancer.
Yeah.
It's chosen me. I can't help it. I have to do it. I have to feed this need for the arts. So I moved over to London at 18, much to my parents' dismay, and worked 3 jobs over there to be able to afford to dance, but I knew that I had to stick it through. And at 20, I got offered to be on Burn the Floor, a huge dance company that's been traveling, was blessed enough to be their lead on Broadway in 2009. Toured around with them for 6 years, and while I was on Broadway in 2009, Dancing with the Stars saw me. And they have been trying to contract me since 2009. And so this was the first, or months ago was the first time I was free to do it. So
Awesome.
yeah, it was a few years in the making of getting me here to do the show, but I'm certainly happy to be here now.
Cool. And above all other things, what was it about dance specifically that drew you in when you were young?
I was that kid that was in everything. I mean, I was in football, I was in basketball, I was in, all different sports, and my mum put me in all different dance as well, because I was in the country up until I was about 12.
Okay.
So she was keeping me real busy. And dance was just the freedom of expression, the music, the something about it. It stuck with me. And for whatever reason, all the sports dropped off, and even the ballets and the jazz and the everything else dropped off, and it was ballroom dancing that I just loved so much.
Mm-hmm.
And it might have been the dresses and the costumes, it might have been the dancing with boys, but it was just a love for me. I attached to it, and I couldn't let go of it.
Yeah. And you mentioned sports a little bit ago, that you played some of that growing up. For the guys out there who think that maybe dancing isn't quite as big of a deal or it's quite of a physical strain as playing football or cricket or whatever you guys watch in Australia. I don't know.
Everything.
Everything. You had knee replacement surgery, and you had come back from that and been able to compete for job opportunities in dancing. What was it like coming back from that?
It was incredibly difficult. I was 15 at the time when it happened. I was representing Australia at the World Championships. And I made it through to the semi-finals, and I felt there's something going in my knee. And I came off the floor, and it was huge. It was absolutely blown off. But then I found out that I made the final.
Wow.
So I made them drain my knee, put cortisone in it, everything else, you name it, acupuncture in my ear, I think, and went out and danced. And that was the worst thing I could have done, because I had had a little tear in my ligament at that point, but going out and dancing on it with cortisone, I basically ripped 2 ligaments in half and lost all the meniscus on one side of my knee. 6 months in a brace, full knee reconstruction surgery on 2 ligaments. And it took me a good 12 months to really get my knee back to the flexibility and the strength that I need as a dancer. And it was tough. And it's also a psychological thing too. You worry about it when you dance on it, when you twist and turn on it. Is it okay? But it made me all the more determined. And it's funny, stepping away for those 12 months, especially at that age, I realized, no, this is my dream, not my parents.
Absolutely.
This is what I want. I miss it too much.
You're just dying to get back out and dance.
Totally.
Again. Awesome.
And I think it put another fire behind me, in a sense. I was like, I've lost a year. I need to really kick it in now.
Yeah.
And it was only about 12 months after that I moved to London.
Cool. Cool. Now, we interviewed about a year ago, and I'm sure you know who this is. Anybody who watches Dancing with the Stars probably knows who this is too. About a year ago, when she was one of the company dancers for Dancing with the Stars, we interviewed Peter Murgatroyd.
Oh, nice.
And who's also from Australia as well. Right now, you're a choreographer and a company dancer with Dancing with the Stars. If you had the chance, because now Pete has been teamed up with numerous celebrities, if you had the chance to be teamed up with a celebrity in the future, what celebrity would you want more than any other?
If the sky was the limit, probably Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman. I wouldn't even be fair.
It
he would
wouldn't
win.
be fair, but if the sky's the limit, I'm allowed to do it.
It has to be a star that nobody's heard of for at least 10 years, right?
No, yeah, well, that's kind of the rule, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or someone with a new TV show coming out.
Exactly, right?
But Hugh Jackman, I mean, they haven't done an Aussie-Aussie pairing, and I think that would be fun. He's also a musical theatre background, so I would have a field day with that. But he would be like the dream partner, you know, because you could just do anything with him. He's a wonderful personality and a wonderful guy. So, and I think the Aussie team sort of would be quite fun on Dancing with the Stars.
Absolutely. Okay, well, one, I've enjoyed talking to you, but we have something else to get to, as you know.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to be playing a game with Sharna today. And you know about the game.
Yep.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for Cocked Out.
Yeah.
All right, this is Cocked Out. Sharna, I'm going to briefly go through the rules. All right, we have our board over there. Each hole's worth a different amount of points. You have 30 seconds to make as many points as you possibly can.
All right.
Okay, in our last episode, Christian Serratos from Twilight got 5 points. So
Excellent. So I just got to
pretty
make
much
5
you just have to
points.
make at least one. You'll at least tie her.
All right,
Okay,
cool.
I'm going to go through this real fast. These are the guns you have to choose from. This is Little Boy Blue.
Yep.
Right? This is Green Thunder. All right? I don't remember the name of this one, but it's a gun.
Okay. I see that.
You
I
ready
got
for
it.
this? Yeah,
I
it
got
looks
it.
like
I'm
a
ready.
gun. All right. So, which gun would you like to start with?
Let's start with the blue one.
The blue one?
Give me the big one.
Here you go. That's how we do. That's how we do. Now I'm going to get back over here. Okay, get out of your way. Are we ready on the clock here? Are we ready on the clock? We are ready. All right, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, keep going. Here we go. Come on. You got to cock it forward. There you go. There you go. Keep going. Keep. Oh, we got a fiver. We got a fiver. Keep going. Oh. Oh.
Am I
Jammed,
missing?
jammed. Keep going. Oh, there we go. There we go. There we go. Keep going. Keep going.
Ah!
Oh, you got it. You got it.
Oh my God!
so
I'm
close.
gonna lose.
Oh, so close. Come on, you got it. Oh, you're almost there. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, my gosh.
5 points. I'm
Okay,
devastated.
it's okay. It's okay. You got 5 points. And you got one last chance.
All right.
Because we have a gun that I do remember the name of.
Huh?
This is Grasshopper. This is Grasshopper, okay?
All right.
Now you're going to pull this
This is
back
my
to
one
cock
shot?
it. You have one chance.
So really, I want to get the 50.
Well, I mean, you could do that, or you could get 5 and be in first place. As
Oh,
opposed
really?
to
That's first
you're
place?
tied right now
Okay.
with Christian.
All right.
All right, so you got to pull that down to cock the gun.
All right.
Whenever you're ready. All right, whenever you're ready.
The 5 is the easiest.
I mean but you might want to score more points.
All right. All right.
But you should play it safe too. Whenever you're ready.
All right.
No reason to wait
Are you
around.
ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Just aim really carefully.
No.
Oh!
It's rigged. You've done something to the gun.
I'm sorry.
You're cheating me
Everybody,
out of it.
okay. Give a big hand for Sharna Burgess. Good job.
Thank
You
you,
competed well. We'll be right back with Ashley Clements. Ashley Clements. But first, we traveled to Seattle, Washington to hang out with ex-NFL kicker Norm Johnson in this week's episode of Get Schooled.
Hi, this is Norm Johnson, former NFL kicker, and I'm here to school you on how to kick a field goal. Probably the first step in kicking a field goal is learning exactly where to hit the ball. You're going to want to hit the ball right about down here with an upward motion with your foot. And when you're pointing to your foot, you want to hit right up on top, almost where you would tie your shoelaces. A lot of people think you'd hit on the inside of your foot, but you really want to hit more up on top. There's a real hard bone up there, and you got to make sure that you really flex your toe and be as pointed as you can. The next thing that you really want to learn is your alignment. If you don't have good alignment, you don't know where that ball is going to go. The key is that you want the same angle to the ball every single time that you align prior to a field goal or extra point. And so what I do is I would take 3 easy steps straight back. I'd make sure that there was a line that went through my aiming point, the ball, and the center of my body. And then it's very important to go over 90 degrees from there, and I'd go over 2 easy steps, and then I'd be set. Once I'd have myself set, I'd slightly lean forward and have about 60% of my weight on my front leg, and have my front leg slightly bent. And when the ball would move from the center's hands, at least that's when I would always start, all I'd have to do from that position is lift my front leg up and lean forward and gracefully start my acceleration into the ball. Once you get to the ball, make sure that your shoulders are square, your hips are square, your head's down, watching the ball kind of like a golfer, and having that leg go through and following through with all of your momentum going toward your aiming point. You've just been schooled on how to kick a field goal.
30 yards. I'm ready for the NFL.
Yes. All right, web series have been gaining more and more popularity, pulling people away from their televisions and headed to their computer screens. So please welcome, from one of the best web series around right now, the Lizzie Bennet Diaries, Ashley Clements. Hey! Get over here. How's it going?
Good.
Take a seat on the comfortable couch that we have here for you.
Thank you so much.
Of course, of course. Now, even though this is going to air next week, it is the day after Halloween. So tell me, what are some of your favorite Halloween memories? There's got to be some good ones.
I grew up in a very serious Halloween area.
Okay.
It was not to be taken lightly. We moved there when I was about 3, but it was the beginning of October, and a police officer came to our door and said, "Do you know what you got into?"
That's never a good sign.
My parents said, "No, what are you talking about?" And they said, "You're going to get about 1,000 trick-or-treaters, and it's not okay to run out of candy because you will be egged."
Nice. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Right? And my mother insisted that we give everyone 2 pieces of candy. That was very important to her. I'm not sure why, but very generous. Hooray, my mother.
Of course.
And every year we got about 100 or 200 more trick-or-treaters. So throughout my life, the entire living room would be taken over with candy. My mom would count, not opening the bags, she'd be feeling through the bags, counting how much it was and keeping lists and tallies of how much candy there was. We couldn't have any candy before Halloween because we could not run out of candy.
I was going to say, how do you not weigh 4,000 pounds right now? Your mom raised you on Halloween candy like that?
You couldn't eat any of it because, you can't run out. And then if we had too much, by the end of the night, she'd be giving people 3 pieces. We mostly, by the end of Halloween, though, we would have maybe like 1 bowl of candy left, down from literally thousands of pieces of candy.
Did she basically enlist you? You couldn't even go out and trick or treat because you were like enlisted as workers for her in this sweatshop Halloween day?
Part of the reason it was such a popular place to trick or treat was because it was a really nice neighborhood. It was really safe. It was flat. And people went all out with the decorations and things. I mean, we also had to go all out with decorations. So it was really fun. And all my friends would come over and go trick-or-treating with me because my neighborhood was totally the neighborhood to do that in.
Of course.
As I got older, I would, be manning the door more because that,
Too cool for school.
Well, eventually you get old enough, you try to go trick-or-treating, people are like,
It's just kind of sad.
I don't have to give you free stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Like, you're an adult now.
Go mow some lawns, deliver some newspapers. Like, seriously. Okay, so I have to ask, one other thing I heard about you that I think is really cool is you spent some time in Europe in college studying abroad, which is really cool. I have to ask, for a college girl at the time, what are the guys like over there compared to the guys over here in the States?
It's definitely different culturally. I did a semester in London first, and it wasn't so different there. I would say the personal space bubbles are a little smaller than we are used to in America. We kind of have like wide personal space bubbles, and in Europe they're just kind of smaller. So that was something I started to get used to in London. I'm really glad I did London first because the second semester I did in Florence, Italy, and amazing, beautiful place, beautiful, absolutely, magical. But I stick out there. I don't look Italian.
Not completely.
And I mean, rarely in my life do I get to say that I look exotic. But in Italy, I look kind of exotic because I'm pale. I have red hair, and walking down the street, I was interesting, I guess.
Yeah.
And every day was an opportunity for somewhere between 10 and, 50 men to say something to me. And mostly it was just ciao bella, ciao bella, ciao bella. I mean, that's very kind of the norm. A few times when I felt a little uncomfortable. But those uncomfortable times really highlight the times that were sort of wonderfully sweet and make them very memorable. One time I was on a train going to Rome, and there was a man kind of staring at me, and I was like, whatever. I was used to being stared at that point in Italy. And eventually he came over to me and didn't say anything, and he handed me a little piece of paper.
Okay.
I was like, okay, thanks. And I took this piece of paper, and then he walked away, and I looked at this piece of paper, and it was a page torn out of a date book. It was like May 26th or something, and it said, "You are beautiful as a rose," and there was a crude drawing of a flower.
No phone number, nothing?
Nothing. It was just...
Oh, that's adorable.
Actually,
that's adorable. I don't know.
My favorite part of it was that it was April, and the page was for May. And I thought, what happens when you get to May and you're like, I'm missing a date in my calendar book. I don't know what happened to it.
You'll just have to take a day
It's in
off,
my scrapbook.
Okay. So now I can't wait any longer. We have to get to the Lizzie Bennet Diaries, the LBD.
LBD.
The LBD. I'm obsessed with this show. It has ruined my life completely. I hadn't seen it for a while, and I was like, you know what? I've heard good things about the show. I'm going to check it out. And I watched like 50 episodes in one sitting. And then you guys like hadn't posted new ones yet, which drove me insane. And then today even, I get to work. Episode 60 went up this morning. I get to work, and the girl who sits next to me was trying to talk to me about work-related things, and I was like, you shut up until I get to see Darcy's face, and then I will go back to work. I am obsessed with it. It's ridiculous. So can you please tell people who don't know, what is Lizzie Bennet Diaries?
Lizzie Bennet Diaries is a YouTube adaptation of Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and it's done vlog style, so... Right. You're seeing it all from Lizzie's perspective. She's in her room with her camera, and she's telling you all about these people, like that annoying guy Darcy and her sister's love life and all of these things. And her friend Charlotte and her sisters Lydia and Jane are on it all the time.
Now, how did you get involved with the show?
I just auditioned for it like anything else.
Really?
I mean, I had no idea what I was walking into. I mean, I loved Pride and Prejudice already, so the concept of it interested me. I thought, like, oh, that could be good. Yeah. It could also be terrible, but you know, that's true when you walk into
many auditions.
It's
a risky
idea.
It
totally is, absolutely. You know, but I got the sides and they were good, and the other people auditioning were good. So I thought, you know, this has real possibility. But nobody, none of us, no one involved ever thought that it would become what it has become, because it's kind of...
I mean, you guys have had standing room only pressers at VidCon. You've had, I mean, the followings on Twitter. I mean, you guys have tons of fans. It's really, really cool.
It's so fun. It's so rewarding. And, you know, because the show is online, fans are already at their computers, so they head over to Twitter and Tumblr and Facebook, and I get to interact with them immediately, and they're so wonderful and so enthusiastic, and they make it just so much fun.
Now, I have to bring this up. One of the interesting things about this show, for everybody watching right now, is that this show is actually filmed at my apartment.
That's true. That's true, it is.
As much as I made it look like I'd never met her before, I actually have met Ashley. Okay, so it's filmed at my apartment. My roommates are some of the producers on the show. They helped create the show. And so I have to ask, you met me a long time ago. I want to know what your first impression of me was. What was your impression of the roommate?
The first impression I remember having, I think I'd seen you before. I mean, there was so much going on in the first day of shooting that I didn't know who half the people were, because there were like PAs and stuff. But I'm in that room. I'm in Lizzie's room nonstop.
Which is not. It's my roommate's
It's
room.
not.
My room is the wardrobe room, so I get kicked out of my apartment.
So
for the rest of
we
the day.
take off our clothes in your room. You are not.
Why do I leave every week? What's wrong with me? It's like taking candy from a baby.
So I was a little, overwhelmed day one. First time I remember meeting you, I think my impression was that you were a really impressive sleeper.
That is very true, everybody.
Because
I can sleep through anything.
Because sometimes we don't have your room for wardrobe first thing in the morning.
What? Sometimes Friday nights are busy nights.
True, but I can't believe that there's like 12, 15 people in your apartment, and we're doing a show, and I'm talking at least this loudly, and you sleep right through it.
I've always said if there's an earthquake, the whole building could come down, and I will at least be in my bed still. At least I'll land on a mattress.
So my first impression of you was accurate then.
Okay. What is your current? Has it changed in any way whatsoever?
Well, now I know what you're like awake.
Okay. Took some time to get to that point. That's okay.
Now I think you're super great.
Wow, sucking up. Thanks. Okay, I have to. The last thing I want to ask you about is, with a show like Lizzie Bennet Diaries that's based on a very popular novel and movies have been made about it, everybody kind of knows where this is going for the most part. I mean, they know like, okay, these people are going to get with these people and all this stuff's going to happen. How do you guys still make it exciting and twist those plot lines around so that people are like think they know what's going to happen but don't really know? Like, what's coming up?
Well, I can't really tell you what's coming up, but I think the structure of the show in itself affects the plot, because these are a bunch of people who know they're on camera, and other people can watch them, and that means other people in the world can watch them, and so everyone who just experienced Darcy Day knows that Darcy is now aware of the videos, and he's going to watch them, and that's going to change things in ways that obviously doesn't happen in Pride and Prejudice because there's no video diaries.
Yeah, they only had like the Power Max. They didn't have like the webcams.
And, you know, it's yeah, exactly. Yeah. So who knows about it affects things, and we definitely have some interesting twists and turns coming up that I think are true to, you know, the heart of the story. And of course, the major elements of it are still going to happen in, you know, some fashion. But there's some stuff coming up that's actually really unique to our story that I'm excited about. There's some stuff that happens only in the Lizzie Bennet Diaries.
Okay. All right. Awesome. Well, it was wonderful talking to you. Thank you so much for coming out. If I get fired from my job, you're the first person I will blame.
That seems fair.
For taking me away from my work to watch your show. But, so thank you for coming out. Up next, we will be listening to music from Passafire. But before that, I was very fortunate. I got to go hang out with a Formula Drift pro racer, Fredric Aasbo, and I rode shotgun in his car. Take a look. I'm standing here at Irwindale Speedway for the Formula Drift Series 2012. We're going to be talking to our featured driver, Fredric Aasbo, and I'm going to hop in the passenger seat and ride along with him. How did you get started in Formula Drift?
I grew up on the snowy mountain passes in Norway, hooning around in my shitbox $300 car. Then I once saw a video clip of a Japanese guy ripping up some mountainside doing exactly what I was doing, and I was hooked right there and then and learned that there's an actual sport for this. Now 6 years later, here we are. It's a rush. It's a 700 horsepower car going as fast as it can, then you flick it sideways, tires smoking out next to a concrete wall. That's essentially what it is. And if you pair that with a car in front of you that does the exact same thing to the point where you can't really see, that's like the ultimate pinnacle of drifting right there. And for me, it's skydiving except you're on the ground. We race all over the world, Abu Dhabi, Qatar, China, Europe, here, Panama. This is more of a challenge because they have the walls that are taking some victims every year.
Let's say I wanted to become a Formula Drift Series driver. What steps would I have to go through?
You would think it was all about the tools, right? All about the car. It's more about the people than the actual car. Drifting, it's pretty much a crash waiting to happen. It's kind of like learning to ride a bicycle, right? You need to fall in order to learn, and everybody needs to crash every once in a while. You should start out in a cheap, rear-wheel drive car. Just get a lot of seat time, then you'll take it from there. That's the best starting point ever.
Let's go get in the car. I want to see what this is like.
Let's do it. Get ready.
These guys have played with the Whalers and 311. You may have seen them on the Warped Tour, but today, most importantly, they are here at the Clocked Out Studios. Everybody give a big round of applause for Passafire.
to somebody I know who could use a little more than a hello, hello, and a pat on the back, just stirring up the fact that you've already lost everything you know, and you're wondering, yeah, you're pondering, yeah, you're wondering. say it's my thing. There's enough confusion that will make you see the right thing. People disillusioned by the words of the songs they sing.
All right, guys, a big thanks out to the music from Passafire tonight. I'd like to thank Sharna Burgess for coming out and also Ashley Clements. Be sure to look back on November 19th for our next episode. That's all we've got today. That's Clocked Out. I'm Nash Harrington. We'll see you then.
This is the rhythm of the night. This is the rhythm of the night.